Okay, today we're going to talk about the olfactory nerve. This is the first cranial nerve. So the main function, or the only function of this nerve until now, until what we know now, it's our sense of smell. Okay, this nerve only contains afferent sensory nerve fibers. So, and of course, as all the cranial nerve, it's in pair one. So it means we have two olfactory nerves. Something important, the olfactory nerve and the optic nerve, they don't converge in the brainstem, okay? Those are the only two cranial nerves who don't go to the brainstem. So, in the embryology of the olfactory nerve is derived of the brainstem and is therefore considered as the component of the central nervous system. This is embryological, okay? So, this nerve is not myelinated, okay, by the Schwann cells, but this nerve is covered by the glia, okay? We are checking here, we're watching a sagittal cut in the nasal cavity, and we see the origin, okay, of the olfactory nerve. But now we need to see the real origin of the olfactory nerve. So this nerve originates from the cell's body of the bipolar olfactory neurons in the olfactory epithelium. Okay, all this here is the epithelium. You see, this is the epithelium. So we're supposed to have like 6 to 10 million olfactory sensory nerve distributed along on the surface of 2.5 centimeters square in the nose. And as you can see here, you can see here the basal projection of the olfactory neurons. They ascend and cross the cribriform plate. Remember, this is the cribriform plate. As you can see here, of the ethmoid as unmyelinated axon growing into the small nerve bundles. They call it fila olfatoria here. You can see here, this is the fila olfatoria. Each of these this is a small nerve bundle from the olfactory nerve, okay? And there are around 50 to 20 of each side of the nasal cavity. So the junction of which the olfactory nerve transverse to the cribriform plate is a potential area of harm. So when we have a skull base here, you can see here, we're gonna have this loss of sensations. Mainly, we're gonna have the rhinorrhea. It's when we can see in the patient going out the CSF liquor here. Okay. So as you can see here, this is the foramina of the cribriform plate, but they also serve as an easy entry point of pathogens to gain access in the intracranial space, and also facilitate the some infections going from the nose to the intracranial space, to the cranial space. So as you can see here, we have now the olfactory bulb. It consists of a lot of neurons and very sophisticated synaptic fields distributed in 5 layers of fibers. Okay, 5 layers. So there are a variety of neurons in the olfactory bulb, including the mitral cells, tufted cells, granulate cells, periglomerular cells. Okay, so the axons of the olfactory nerves originate from the cell's body. Remember, from the cell's body in the olfactory epithelium. Okay, here. Later they terminate here in the olfactory bulb. You can see here. So you see in this area they converge with the dendrites of the mitral cells and tufted cells in the small clusters. It's called here glomerule. You can see here they join together. So we can say, in conjunction with the granulate cells, the periglomerular cells, they serve as a modulate and fine-tune in the processing of the olfactory information. Both the granulate cells and the periglomerular cells are considered interneurons. So you can see here the granulate cells, the mitral tufted cells, mitral cells, astrocyte, pericyte, endothelial cells, juxtaglomerular cells or periglomerular cells is the same. Okay. So you see here the bulb, here the olfactory epithelium, and the mucosa, the respiratory epithelium, the mucosa. You can see the different kind of cells we're gonna have: ciliate cells, brood cells, secretory cells, okay, and basal cells. So after the olfactory information is transmitted from the olfactory receptors neurons, go to the olfactory bulb, and each olfactory tract runs posteriorly along the olfactory sulcus and ends in the olfactory trigon. We're gonna see it now. So the olfactory trigon, we're gonna check it. It's a triangular widening of the terminal olfactory tract located. You can see here the location. It's superior to the anterior clinoid process and directly rostral to the anterior perforate substance. We're gonna see the perforate substance here, okay? Okay, this is maybe not the best picture. And you can see how the olfactory nerves going from the bulb, the tract, trigonal. Okay, now you can see here much better. This is the optic nerve. Remember, when we check the olfactory nerve, we're gonna see it is very attached, very stick to the brain. You see here, look at here, olfactory bulb, olfactory tract. Again, you can see in this one, you see here, okay, you can see here again olfactory bulb, olfactory tract. You see here the olfactory tract. So you look, we are watching this. This is a lateral view. This is superior view. We retract the brain, and you see here the anterior floor of the skull base. Again, here you're watching the part of the middle floor here. As you can see here, the motor-ocular nerve, the ICA, optic nerve, chiasma. Okay, here the same. So you can see here the end of the olfactory nerve. It's in the entorhinal area, in the cortex area number 28. You can see here it's parahippocampal gyrus. Receive the connection of the from the primary olfactory cortex, okay, and the secondary olfactory cortex. This area are the responsible to formulate that information who came from the outside to the nerve and say to us, the cortex, what is that? It can smell or is not? It smells good, it smells bad. So again, you can see here the olfactory tract. You can see here. You can see here substantia perforata anterior, optic nerve, and you can see the optic tract. So it means we are watching here from, we can say here we are watching from inside to up. You can see. So again, we can see the hippocampus area, the parahippocampal area, entorhinal area, the end of the olfactory nerve. Again, olfactory cortex, you can see here, okay. So with that, in the end we finish, and we can say about the irrigation of this nerve. The olfatory nerve gonna receive a lot of irrigation from different arteries, because gonna receive irrigation from the sphenopalatine artery in the nasal cavity. You see here, from the nasal cavity is sphenopalatine artery, also the ethmoidal arteries. So, but when the nerves get inside of the inside the cranial, I'm gonna receive blood supply by the olfatory artery. It's a branch of the A2. So with that we finish. That's all. Later we're gonna continue with the optic nerve.